Wow, look at that. Look at that. Why do I feel like I'm a guest on this show today?
It happens.
Look at this. Look at this lineup. Craig S. Eubanks and Bully Grove himself.
Yeah, there we go. Bully Grove. I love it, guys. I love
it. And that was in Susan's honor. Look at that. We got her in the background. Nobody can see her, but she is back there really kind of pulling this thing together for us all. So what's going on, guys? Thanks for coming on.
Oh, not a whole lot. Fence week's going on right now.
You guys,
yeah, it's busy.
Yeah. Which locations are you at? I know we were just saying, Craig, you were over at Indianapolis.
Yeah, I'm helping out in Indianapolis, which we're actually a little west of Indianapolis, but we'll just call it Indianapolis.
There we go. There we go. So I'm in Pace, Florida, which is where we operate out of. So I'm in home. But it's been fun, man. We had the .com crew show up today. I had no idea that there was a .com crew that's based in Pensacola. Pretty crazy. Yeah. I mean, they're literally right down the street from us. I was like, man, you guys live here? It's awesome.
Yeah. Well, he's down there. Is it Naples? Naples is where they're kind of based out of, isn't it?
Yeah.
So you're both doing training? Are you actually doing some of the classes or doing actually some of the part of the Fence Week training?
So I'm running Pace's training completely. Like I said before we got on here, we had a giant job that's been lined up for about 7 months. They moved the dates on us last minute, so Chris had to go to Panama City, and he took all the high steel guys with him. So it's just been me and whoever showed up for the training. But it's been a good week so far, guys. We're on day 3. We got rained out today. Unfortunately, we worked through the rain until it was about dime size, nickel size raindrops, and then I said, let's call it.
So, yeah, like a union job where you just put a circle and you get 3 drops. You get 3 drops in the circle. You guys call it a day? No, it was more than 3 drops. I saw some of the pictures and videos people were sending out, man. Some of these places were just getting slammed with weather for the first couple of days, huh?
Yeah.
So, Greg, you're not actually doing something that you weren't supposed to be doing the training. I thought you were going to go down and do some podcasting, right?
Yeah. So let me say too, we've only been live for like a minute and a half, and Susan's already attacking me about a T-shirt. So let's just throw that out there real quick. But Susan, which by the way, they came in today, so I will get that sent out to you. Promise.
I want to have you guys on more often because she's got you guys to bug instead of me.
Yeah, I know, right? That's funny. No, I was supposed to go to the training just to kind of help out and podcast a little bit, interview some guys, and then we just kind of I talked to James and Steven Spence, and we were like, hey, let's all 3 kind of tackle this thing together, because I think there's 8 different companies there, so it's a good little crew of people. Yeah. So
yeah, that's cool. What is there stuff going on? I know there's hurricane season and stuff. Is there anything else going on weather-wise that kind of kept anything from happening?
Yeah, so what's funny is the first day I show up because they're like, let's all meet at Menards. So I go there and everyone is underneath a cart corral because it's raining so much. So there's 13, 15 guys all jam-packed underneath this cart corral not getting rained on. And so yeah, it worked out though. It stopped a little bit later.
Menards. I love it when I hear you guys talking about Menards. It feels it sounds like a place you go adopt a dog or something. And
I'm saying,
it's like
your hardware inside one, and I hear it, and I'm like, that sounds like a Kmart or something,
doesn't it? That doesn't sound like a hardware store, does it? I mean, what is it? Just like a Depot or something?
What, the Menards?
Yeah.
Menards, it's just somewhere people go to just park in the parking lot and meet, and then they drive over to Lowe's a little bit later. So it's usually what we do.
it's every day's a parking lot sale.
Yeah. We're like, yeah, all right.
That's awesome.
So,
yep.
What what I love having you guys on here is because you guys just hit this podcast stuff hard, man. I mean, you guys came. It was like overnight success on both your podcasts. And I know it's not just overnight success. It was a lot of hard work. And, I know you guys put in the time and the effort and stuff. What, starting with you, Billy, what made you want to do a podcast?
To be honest with you, and I see Cannon's watching as well. I watched the original My Fence Life from day one, and I was just that's really cool.
I'm actually live on a podcast.
Maybe
Sorry.
Oh no, you're good. So, as the years went by through my fence career, I started seeing more and more of a need to not just have one podcast a week, because that's how it started, right? It was just the My Fence Life podcast. There was a couple other random ones here and there. Yes, Cannon, I'm calling you an OG.
I'll drink to that. Cannon and Dan, man, started this whole craziness, right?
Yeah, man. So I started with that. And then I kind of got nervous like a little bit because, like you've ever met me, I do like have a stutter and whatnot. Whenever I get like super excited, I'll like trip over my words. And I was like, man, I can't be doing a podcast like that. So I just started going live on like some of the fence pages just to get my feet wet with, speaking in front of people on a camera. And it really worked. And then one day it just kind of clicked. And I went to my wife and I said, I'm going to do this. I think I'm going to start a podcast. And she was like, well, what are you going to talk about every week? You going to talk about fence every single week? I was like, yeah, we're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I felt like there was a break between the owners and the employees, team members, whatever you call them at your place of business. So that was kind of heavy on my heart. So I kind of wanted to include the boots on the ground and not just talk about business and money, which is a very important thing in the fence industry, but also including the installers, the team members, the employees, and making it to where I can go call up Cannon and be like, hey man, give me your top guy. Let me have him on your podcast because I want to pick his brain. So that was my thing behind it. And it just it didn't blow up overnight. It's a lot of hard work that went into it. Fridays and Saturdays are kind of whenever I sit down and really, really focus on the episode for the upcoming week. It doesn't happen all the time. Sometimes I'm writing notes on Monday, like after I get off, but that's just how I kind of got started.
How'd you pick your day? First off, let's tell everybody how they can watch your podcast and the times and everything. How'd you come about that day? Like, what exact day of the week and why'd you pick that day?
So it was kind of just random. Because I started off with Dan as my co-host, who no longer is even in the fence industry anymore. And we were kind of going back and forth on what days would be easier for us because we were both married. We both had children. And he was like, Wednesday's the day. And I said, no, we can't do Wednesday. Wednesday's already taken. Like, we can't do Wednesday. What about Tuesday? He said, oh, okay, Tuesday at work. And he was curious as to what time. And he's like, well, I think it should be later. And I was like, okay, tell me why it should be later. And he's like, well, because we work until 5:30, sometimes 6. We got to go home, get cleaned up. We don't want to come on here looking like we just got done rolling in the mud, right? Because sometimes that's what we look like if we're out there actually really putting in fence. So it just kind of just rolled, and we started with 7 o'clock. And then I realized that 7 was just a tad bit too early for the both of us. So we pushed it to 7:30. So you can find me Tuesdays, 7:30, YouTube, Facebook, and then you can find the audio podcast on just about anywhere that you can listen to podcasts at.
Okay. So you just look up the Gatekeeper podcast. It's going to pop up. I've searched it. Whenever I want to go watch it, I just type it in and all the links start to pop up. So, by the way, I mean, it was one of those ones everybody just, once you watch it, it's amazing how you connect with everybody. So I love it. Love what you're doing with it. Yeah. You just got to keep it up, man. It's sometimes I feel like all you guys are way more focused than I am at stuff. I mean, I think I just come on and I asked Susan, what am I talking about today? And I'm the worst, dude. I was bad at studying in school. I'm bad at preparing. Ready? Right? I don't stay on point. If you watch her thing, she's got all these red things all over. She's telling us to move on and nonstop because I'll go down rabbit holes. But see, she's out of order.
She said right there, you're out of order too.
So again, everybody, tune in, go check it out because I mean these are great podcasts. You guys been around for a little bit now, but it picked up a lot of steam. You got a lot of followers and a lot of interactions with your your people watching and stuff. So it's a big deal. Craig, Fence Guy Friday, man. I mean, I know I think you started it and there was something that was going on a while back or something before. And I know why you picked Friday because it's called Fence Guy Friday. But what got you to start this? What made you want to do it?
So honestly, originally, so what you're kind of talking about, originally it was started because I was tired of going to customers' houses and answering the same questions. So then I was like, you know what? I'm going to start going live on Facebook, and then I'm going to make videos too. And then I'm going to put it on my fencing page. And then that way I can refer customers to my page and then they can check it out. Well, then it started getting to customers were like, hey, I seen your video online. And I was like, oh, that's kind of cool, and stuff. Well, then I made a reel joking about like having sponsors for my podcast, and I played a cricket sound. Well, that thing blew up. And then people were calling and they're like, hey, we want to sponsor your podcast.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, it's not a podcast. And they're like, well, let's make it. And I was like, okay. So, but then, and shout out to Joe Everest, because he helped me a lot in the beginning. And actually, he used to have a podcast called Ask a Fence Guy Friday. And then that's where his changed into, the fence expert and stuff. But he gave me his blessing to use Fence Guy Friday. And I was kind of stuck with one day. So I couldn't go on a Thursday, so I was kind of stuck. But yeah, so it's been great, man. And the social media stuff is doing fantastic. And I have a producer, and he gives me numbers and stuff, and everything is great. It's growing quick.
So has it changed your life? All the money and everything you're making at it now? It's like you guys find yourself looking at like upgrading your cars and everything.
Actually, I just got a Lambo not too long ago, so I was like, sweet. Yes.
But hey, let's not forget, Sean just jumped on here, man. What's going on, man?
What's up, guys? I literally rushed back here to make this most badass podcast with all the awesome podcasters.
Yeah.
So I have literally jumped out of the truck, ran inside, put the headset on, and hit go on the laptop. So I had a brief conversation with Sam on the way back and Michael, and they said to my wife as soon as I walked in the door, like, your husband is nuts. We worked all day. It's 7 p.m. here. Started at 6. We didn't eat lunch. There was no piss breaks. They didn't have any breaks at all. They're like, this is what it's been like since Monday. So we had dinner on the way home. So I call it lunch, dinner. It's efficient that way. Eat one time a day, so twice. So get more shit done. We did chain link today, and we had a very challenging job. And we had guys who have never done chain link, and some of them probably don't want to mess with it again. They didn't know it was that many parts and pieces. They're like, oh my God, I mean, like a roadmap. What are you talking about? Right?
I love it.
Different size brace bands and tension bands and eye tops. We had to switch early in the morning because the posts we had were too short. So we had to switch posts. We switched posts. They got bigger in diameter posts. We got bigger diameter posts. I had to change the top rail because we had eye tops. Then we take the small diameter top rail and a big post. So we changed the eye tops and the top rail. We changed the rail ends and we had a whole class this morning for 2 hours before we left the shop on what the parts were and why they were, and they had to dig through the buckets and try to find all the different parts. It was like, where's Waldo? I need to find guides. I mean, nothing was right. I had to find drop rod guides and didn't have the right ones. We had some gates are 1 3/8, some gates are 1 5/8. I had to learn why the hinge doesn't work both ways.
See, Sean doesn't need a podcast. His whole life is a podcast. It's like his daily when he wakes up. It's like one big podcast. His entire life.
Somebody asked me, like, what do you do when I have downtime, Sean, today?
Edit videos that I took today.
Yeah. Hey, but was there any bias cuts?
AI videos?
There were bias cuts everywhere. And I thought I was going to a cookie cutter, bread and butter, flat 2 foot, 6 foot tall residential. What do we do? 9 gauge. Commercial, and the bias cuts. There was 1 4 foot stretch with no bias cuts out of 200 feet. And there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 stretches. Yeah. And we had 1 4, 1 5s. We had 2 patterns. Yeah. Oh yeah. Everyone got to practice the bias cuts and then like mess it up, redo it. We ended up with 7 links of fabric left in the day. So at the last cut, I was on live on. I was sitting there nervous, thinking, "Oh God, please don't cut the wrong one because I know that we're out." Well, excited.
Well, we love chain link. You know that. I mean, that's our thing down here. And by the way, you guys, I feel like I have to admit something. I mean, I know you've seen Sean on the podcast quite a bit. He's never actually been on it. He's an AI generated character that I have created for this. So he's not even on right now. He's actually out somewhere building fence. So the only way I could get him to come on consistently and have the time, I had to create an AI generated character with his permission.
Right. We had a great day, though. We had a great day.
But since Sean is here, what
would Brian and Sean say?
Let's cut to the questions. Here's our first one. How many
really? Not this one.
How many feet per person per day is realistic to install 6-foot slats? I'd be curious to hear
this is your question, Brian. This is right up your alley.
I mean, definitely. I mean, we figure slats almost, one bag per, like, if you had to just do it realistically, through an entire day, because it gets exhausting. And it depends on the height of it, obviously. If you're, 6 feet and under, you can stand there and you can slide them in. So if you go on ladders, it changes it, or you got to slide them from up underneath and lock it back down. So 6 foot and under, I think we figure about 10 minutes at the most, about 10 minutes per bag. So about 10 feet. So I'd say about a minute a foot on average. But that's you got to take some breaks.
Booking.
Obviously,
that's booking.
Yeah, your arms are getting tired. You're talking about 10, 20 feet at a time or something. So I'd say realistically 15 minutes, per a bag of slats. What have you
guys?
Can a
guy is that possible to do 500 feet in a day? Is that what you're saying? One guy? Is that possible?
He's going to have noodle arms.
Mathematically-wise, what you're saying is possible, but I don't know. That's fucking nuts. I would be at the third bag. I don't know. I go do something else. I'm out.
Man, if you get the right guy that just like is okay with just you've got those guys working for you with just muscle, and they just would sit there just like a machine, and like this. And I guess if you get a system down, like you get 2 or 3 slats in a hand at a time, and you're sliding like a bunch of them down at once, and then you go down and lock 10, 15 in at a time. So, I mean, typically, when we train to get a whole bunch and drive them in, and then you go down and then you go down and you start snapping them all in. So you'll snap in, 2-3 feet at once rather than going in each one. So you're not going bending down, up and down, up and down. But yeah, what about you guys? What for slats? What would you do?
Phillies like me, we're out.
You don't do slats.
Billy's like, I would just go ahead and order the wire with the slats pre-installed. That's how he would do it, right?
That's exactly how I would do it.
Exactly how I would do it too.
Yeah, but you wouldn't be doing that multiple days in a row. Sean, this one's you.
Bro, this is a book.
That's why I said Sean.
I'm really torn about these mini skid steers. I have a full-time job in the medical field doing fencing on the side, probably install 200 to 500 feet a month. I just want a skid steer for moving material around, augering holes and debating between options. I'm going to go cheap and get a Chinese knockoff. No, spend another 3. No, I can't be on board with this. You're not ready for a machine. You're doing 200 to 500 feet a month. No.
Yeah.
No, they're not ready for a machine. Not a small machine, not a big machine. No, not even.
Hey, you know what? You know what he needs? He needs a quick pull.
A quick pull.
That's what he needs.
What's he gonna do for that?
What's he talking about? Just he wants it just to move stuff around the job, or what's he gonna?
That's it. Augering holes and moving material.
And auger and for 2 to 500 feet in a month.
A month. Yeah, no.
Oh man, I don't know.
No,
I think it's gonna be more work just to haul this thing around.
Oh, you're gonna lose way more time.
I might go fast on that.
He needs a little beaver first. He needs a little beaver.
Beaver and then some muscles.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, I don't even think he needs anything to dig with at that. You're digging by hand. You're only doing 200 feet a month. You don't even need nothing. You just need
like Evan Gardner says, you come to a fence week next year, you'll learn everything you need to do. Everything you need to do.
Yeah,
for free.
So, what do we got? Third question here. Got my first commercial job at 1,700 feet in Missouri. Never done a job this big. Looking for tips on getting it knocked out quicker. I'm interested in using a post driver instead of wet set. Sean won't be able to help with this one. Pros and cons.
Yes. So Branson, Missouri, number one is a problem because there's some hard ass pounding in Branson, Missouri. Not to mention digging at rocks. Pounding or digging either way is gonna be hard. If 1,700 foot is a big job for you and you don't know if you're going to drive it or wet set it, I think it's not when you want to drive it there for the first time. How about that? If you haven't drove, you shouldn't be driving the first one at 1,700 foot. That's probably not it. You should practice on something else because you probably don't have the equipment. You're going to rent it. You're going to get equipment that's shit equipment. And you're going to be like, well, this is crazy. I could have wet this faster. Yeah, you're right. You could have.
Yeah.
There's a learning curve whenever it comes to driving.
Yeah. No. And the equipment you need. You can't just go to the rental yard and buy decent driving equipment, guys. It's not available.
Yeah. What is this? Cannon says, I've been doing this 8 years and I haven't installed a single slat.
Me?
Well, you guys haven't?
No, not one.
That seems crazy to me, man. It seems crazy, I guess,
No, just a handful.
Well, they've came a long ways now with the slats where the slats are pre-installed in the wire. So, and you get a lot more privacy out of it. And, with the labor costs, it didn't used to be when the labor cost was a lot cheaper, it was more cost effective to actually put the slats in the field. But now that labor has went up 40-45% in the last year or two, it's way more cost effective to buy the wire with the slats already in it, where the factory puts them in,
Get on Amazon and hire a kid. You can hire kids on Amazon now.
Hire kids on Amazon.
That's what I said. I didn't know that. I'm all over Amazon. If I can order one right now, I got a 19-year-old kid to put in slats.
Have a couple delivered out same day to the next job to get it done. Then you just got to drop them off over at the Whole Foods when you return it.
Are they deliverable, or they deliver themselves?
Right. So hey guys, have you been watching? We started kind of a new series talking about the future of the industry, the last couple, where we've been kind of trying to dive into some stuff a little bit more serious, where we're getting into what it's like for supplier, between suppliers, distributors, manufacturers, and fence companies, and we've been getting some people on. Have you guys been following any of that?
What's the future look like?
Well, we're just trying to get opinions, different opinions and different viewpoints, from around the industry. So the topics have been kind of like three, we want to get a little bit more people involved, more podcasters. We want to get people more open and getting the dialogues going about what it's like for fence companies starting out. Because it's a whole different ballgame once you've already been established. Like we've all been established, and as the industry kind of changes a little bit with our companies, it's different. But we're trying to get into what it's like for a fence company starting out. What do you got to, where do you get your materials, and where do you get your information, your resources, your right down to if in the beginning maybe you're not chasing down the education as much because maybe the education wasn't geared for you yet. Things like that. What do you guys think of that? What's your opinion on where the industry is going? And you guys like what you see? I know you guys are pretty heavily involved in it.
I like what I see. I like what I see. And we had a guy, much like Chris Gass, didn't go to the retreat, but he's never installed a fence, has no fence installation equipment, and he shows up to Fence Week because he's about to start a fence company, right? Yeah. I feel like doing that is the right way to go, making sure that you know what you're doing before you get out there and have to go to YouTube University, which, don't get me wrong, that's how a lot of people start, but doing it right and getting trained how to do it right before you ever even buy an auger or a post hole digger or a sawzall or a skill saw, I think that's worth its weight in gold. And just making sure that you're actually getting trained, because where we're pushing this thing to is it's no longer, hey man, you're just a fencer because you can't do trim carpentry, right? Like that's my big thing that I want to completely exnate out of the industry and out of everything. I want people to be like, oh, dude, you install fence? Heck yeah, man. Heck yeah. So that is my personal thought on it right there.
Yeah. What about you, Craig? I think we lost him a little bit there.
You're muted.
Oh, he's muted. That's what it is. All right.
There you go.
Hey, what about you, man? Where do you see the industry going? Like,
hold on, we're having technical difficulties right now.
2025, you guys, is going to be a whole different year, especially with the elections and everything that just happened. You're going to see, some people energized and some people, a little bummed out. But obviously, the year after an election year is always unique. How do you guys think it's going to affect the industry when it comes down to materials and new businesses starting out and things like that?
I think it's going to be great, to be honest with you. I think it's going to be awesome. I mean, first off, we have no more tax on overtime. Whenever that starts, thank God, it's going to be great, right? But I also think that putting someone in the office who really cares about the country and cares about different tariff prices and tax prices on getting those domestic materials shipped in, I think that's going to help us. Is it going to be tomorrow or next week? Probably not. But I think if we keep track of where we're going and we look at the past, I think we can pretty well track where we're supposed to be. And that's kind of my view on it.
I'm really excited for where we are right now. If you look at the synergy in our industry, coming from someone that's been around the industry for a good period of time, just this week alone, I'm so excited at the messages I'm seeing and the posts I'm seeing and the conversations I'm having and the things I'm witnessing right now. The sharing, the collaborating, the partnerships, the friendships that are being made just in this week alone, just a glimpse of what's been happening in the past years. Yeah. Right. But right now it's like it's on like a nitrous boost right at the moment. Yeah. Right. We're going to launch the momentum that we have with, moving forward from here. It's going to be absolutely amazing. The partnerships with the manufacturers is getting better, but I think where the biggest gain is that fencers are connecting at a better level than we've ever connected before. Fencers are coming together. We're helping each other out. It may not be driven so much by manufacturers, but we're going to get the ear of the manufacturers a little bit better, have the voice to be heard a little bit better, right? Yeah. They have the ability to direct our industry as well, but we actually are coming together in a way where we are able to share and help each other, educate, and as we become smarter about what we're trying to do, we're able to have better conversations with manufacturers. Maybe push what kind of products we'd be looking for, right? Yeah. Installation methods, looking at that, equipment, tools, how to sell better and take care of our team members. Yeah. The no dig part is huge for our industry. I mean, people have been no digging for a long time. Don't get me wrong. This is not brand new technology, but more people are no digging right now than we've ever had. I think we can all agree on that. And if more people are doing that, then what's happening is we get different type of talent looking at our industry that are not, the ones that wouldn't look at us before because they didn't want to dig holes or pack concrete. Yeah. Now we got more of a technician interested in our industry. Well, if we get some higher caliber of guys interested in coming to our industry, well, that's one of the biggest, complaints I've heard from guys for years. I can't find good help. Yeah. Well, we change who we're looking for and we change who we attract. Yep. Right. We become smarter about what we're putting. Let's build better fence and make it easier. Can we do that? Holy shit. I think we are doing that. So what the future is we're doing that and we're doing it exponentially. I think it's like Elon Musk has hit the fence industry, man. It's like we're doing shit they said we couldn't do. Oh, you can't. We're doing it day in, day out. Yeah. Yeah. Well,
and I've noticed that you were saying synergy earlier about within the industry, and it is between all the organizations and even the shows, the podcasters. You're seeing everybody kind of working together. And I've, doing what I'm doing now, opposed to like years ago. Now I talk to a lot more of the fence companies, even manufacturers, suppliers, distributors, all this stuff. And I've noticed there's even a synergy, but more between the manufacturers and the suppliers. It's coming together. You're seeing, we're seeing kind of like a hybrid model of with the fence companies that are buying some stuff from manufacturers, some stuff from distributors. You're not seeing that, hey, I own that guy because he bought from me once anymore. And you're seeing some of that changing to where we've all felt that, where it's like, okay, I buy this one tension band from this guy once, and now no manufacturers want to sell me nothing because they say I'm his customer. Or I bought one roll of wire from this guy, or I bought one, lift of wood from this guy one time. And now as your business grows, you're like, okay, so now since I'm in the fence industry, I'm not ever allowed to buy materials at a cheaper price. Right? Because I'm a better service,
maybe. Right. Not always on price. Sometimes I want to go somewhere because they have a better service.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm seeing a hybrid where people are actually buying, maybe you got a big job and now we're shopping it more and you're like, hey, you know what? I need 300 panels. So maybe I am going to talk to some of the manufacturers and I'm going to get a truckload or, on that order. But then I'm going to go back to buying from the distributor as well on my weekly orders, the stuff that I need to fulfill my 100-foot jobs opposed to my 1,000-foot jobs. So I think as it changes, or maybe you decide you want to sell to, landscape companies and fence companies and contractors around you as well. So it's not, I just like seeing that the industry is communicating more. And I see at the show, I've noticed it when I'm watching people talk, the manufacturers and suppliers and stuff. So I'm excited about that. And I think 2025 is going to be probably all of our best years because we're going to make it the best year. We're going to freaking, you know what it is? I think it comes down to if we it comes down to perception. If we believe it's going to be the best year because of the elections or the economy is going to boom, if we believe the economy is going to boom, it's just going to boom. Consumer confidence is going to go up, and we're going to start spending money. People are going to spend money. We're going to buy equipment.
Manifest it.
Yeah, we're going to hire more people. If we think it's going to tank, it's going to tank, right? We'll make it tank. If you look for reasons for it to tank. So super excited about that. Does any of this stuff affect you guys? Have you noticed even today, it's one day into the election, since we got a new president-elect coming in, have you noticed any kind of vibe difference?
No.
I haven't yet.
I'm in the South, so everybody's team red on down here. So I haven't noticed anything different.
So on your guys' podcast, do you think you guys have an obligation with our podcast? I mean, now that there's more and more of us media guys, so obviously it started off, there was just one, and Dan had one thing about Dan and Cannon, probably Dan more specifically on this. He had no qualms with calling somebody out right on there. And I know all of us are probably a little more political about it sometimes. Right. But do you think you think now that we have all these followers and all these people watching us and we're bringing people on, from the industry, whether they're suppliers, manufacturers, and associations, and all of us, even you guys, do you guys think you have an obligation to bring me on as FWA and say, what direction, why do you do it this, or why are you doing it that way? Why are you for this or against that? Do you think we're obligated as podcasters to try to question the stuff?
I don't really believe so. I think that's rocking the boat too much, in my opinion. Now, do I feel like maybe we should, have a private conversation about that? Probably, but I don't feel like that is my calling in the podcast world, is to call manufacturers out and say, hey, your product sucks, or hey, do this differently. I don't think that's my place in this my podcast world, but that's just me personally. Craig, what about you?
Yeah, so no, we aren't going to be calling anybody out or anything like that, because one of our main things is I love to see people win, and I don't care if you're part of this team or that organization, that one, I don't care. So if you're winning, I'm going to cheer for you. If you're not, I'm going to still cheer for you that you can get there. So because we've all been there, and we've all have started off and we all sucked someday. So now, let's all win and get there. So, because it gets brought up to me, because obviously, and I'm sure with you guys too, with sponsors and stuff, like, now, obviously I'm not going to say my sponsor, is like, I'm not going to put them down or anything, but like, I don't know. It's just weird how the industry still is sometimes. And people will like, get a text message and can't believe you're doing this or that. And it's like, man, I just want to see people win. Like, honestly. And it's just,
I think that's why your guys' podcast, it's just, you have such a loyal, strong following. Everybody gets all excited about it when you're coming on. Cause it's the negativity stuff. I get drug into it sometimes. And cause I go from multiple directions coming at me sometimes. And I think you catch me on a bad day and I'm like, man, I just want to say something. But I try to be as political as I can too, because I got to remember, this is also, it's a form of entertainment too.
Yeah.
We're doing this. Sometimes people want to break. At the end of the day, they've been working hard and they just want to, hear voices and see faces of people. A lot of the times these are people we see, at events and things like that. And it's kind of cool to see us again on there and actually ask questions and stuff. Sean, you stay pretty neutral too, man. You are involved in everything and everybody almost. But every once in a while,
come on, man. I got into it with somebody on Facebook today. They got the better of me. They were all like, driving I-post is weaker than setting aluminum posts in concrete. I was like, bro, come on. Right. And then here I go. Right. It's like I said, so if you put 5,000 pounds of concrete on that post, does it make it stronger?
No.
Yeah. I'm like, what? No, come on, man. If I put an I-beam in there, a quarter inch.
But what if you dome it up? I don't know. If you dome it up enough, I think, you get a nice dome on there. You might get a little more strength out of it.
Somebody was with me. They're like, man, what's dumber than fighting with, dumber than dumb people?
Yeah.
You fighting with dumb people. And I'm like, okay. All right, stop. But it's just, it's hard to logic sometimes, and I got to look at it and say it's not that they're dumb. They really aren't. It really is just they don't have enough perspective, enough experience, right? And so I got to check myself and say the only reason why they're saying that is really because they really believe that they feel confident that this way is better than that way. And it's only because they haven't experienced any other way, right? So I got to do better, not like get argumentative with them. Like you said, be like kind of neutral and say, okay, that's interesting. If you think that, then maybe you don't understand what the IPO system actually is. Maybe that you have no idea that there's actually a beam all the way up. Yeah. Right. Because it's so simple. So, but I do try to help. I like what Craig said. I like to see people win, and I answer my phone damn near 24/7. I get people all the time saying, "Damn, Sean answered his phone. Like you answered your phone? Yeah, I'm going to answer my phone. Call me, email me, message me. I try to help. Just because even if you don't buy anything from me, I've never met you. I got a guy that messaged the other day asked me just tips on how to keep his business busy during the winter. Yeah. Well, this is the shit that we do in our academy and teach, but I gave him every answer I possibly could with no questions asked, right? Because I want to see him win. If more people win, we all win, right? That's what Craig said. Like, we raise the tides, raise all ships. I get that. It makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I
think it's good I think everybody's got to remind me of that sometimes. I go down a rabbit hole sometimes, and sometimes I'll respond to somebody on one of the Facebook groups or something, and reality is I just didn't know what he was talking about. So I'll just say something like, because they didn't know what he meant, and I'll say, oh yeah, what do you mean by that? And they're like, oh, they go on and on, like it's like a trail. I'm like, dude, I'm not saying you're wrong, just saying I don't understand what you were asking.
Right.
I just didn't agree because I didn't understand what that because we don't, everybody doesn't build the same style fences. We don't even call sometimes the fittings the same thing from one side of the country to the other, right? I mean, some will call a loop cap, some will call an eye top. So I mean, you can think of different names. So it's like when someone says, "Hey, you make sure you use one of those loop caps," I'm like, "Okay, what is that?" I mean,
Well, let me add to that. So that's one of the good things about these trainings and stuff, because you get guys from all over the place. Like we got some guys from Pittsburgh, and they're coming over, and yes, they use different terminology, or they may put pickets in a different way on a PVC fence, and it may teach you something rather than being hard-headed and just like, dude, that's actually pretty smart, man. Like, appreciate you showing me that. And then it makes your team better, and it's for free. So it's like, just listen, stop being hard-headed.
Yeah. Like, look at Isaac. He's like, as people ask, you're like, hey, that's, there's 8 makeups on that. And sometimes people don't realize there's 2 makeups on a corner and 1 makeup on an end, right?
So we talked about it today. We called it a hookup. I said my slang term's hookup. You're gonna hear termination. Here we go. We literally had that conversation. I'm like, you guys didn't understand from different parts of the country. Somebody's gonna say makeup, and you're like, what is that? No, it's the same thing as a hookup. Okay.
Yeah.
No idea.
Right? What a termination is, right?
So why I got you guys on here, Craig and Billy? How do you keep your audience engaged? Do you have a secret or a trick you want to share, or is it something that what's your strategy on how you keep audience engaged and coming back? Is there something that you do, like you already know your next episode that leads into, or I mean, is there some magic sauce in it that you have?
I'll go first. I get awesome people on the show.
Yeah.
So then that's what keeps people engaged. And then obviously when you hear about different stories and too, like James Blaisdell, like his story, losing $30,000 and stuff, like that's something that everybody needs to hear. So it's like, his whole situation with that, and that's kind of what we do. And we try to stay up on the social media stuff. I have a producer for my show, and then my office manager handles a lot of the stuff, and she's a rock star at it. And as you guys know, like, you got to stay on the social media stuff because that's what gets people engaged. So,
and do you stream with you, Craig? Where do you stream? Do you stream to all the platforms? Give me the names of the platforms you stream to.
Yeah, so we stream everywhere. We're on LinkedIn, TikTok. We are on obviously Facebook, and then we do an audio version on anywhere you can download your podcast. So anywhere, like literally, I think it shoots to I think Rob, the producer, said it was like 200 different places you can download podcasts. And I was like, I didn't even know there was that many places you can get them. But
Same.
Apparently there is.
Yeah.
I think you got to get an Apple phone to listen to it all, right? Or something. Can you even watch those? Can you even watch those on the phone for adults, or is it just the kid ones? I'm not sure.
Team Android over here. So.
Oh no!
Me too. Yeah. I know we can't. Their videos are so crappy on iPhones that we can't even see them.
I know.
So let me ask you guys this: what do you guys think? Is there room for more podcasters?
Absolutely.
Yeah, I think so. That's the same way with adding, more fence companies. Yep. There's room for everybody because there's millions and millions of fences out there that need build, and as long as we keep stepping up our game, because now, obviously, if Billy does something cool, I'm like, oh, that's cool. Maybe we should try to do that too. Make ours better. Now it's not like I'm running on Tuesday night the same time as Billy. That would be awkward. So, and it'd be weird being Fence Guy Friday on a Tuesday, but it happens.
I think we should do it. You should do every other one on a Tuesday.
Taco Tuesday.
Yeah, he does this on Friday just to keep people wondering who's on today.
Yeah,
you want to wake up and go, who's on today? Which?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Podcast takeover. Just switch.
So what my thing is I kind of shoot for cool people as well, great people to come on, but also I really put what's going on in my fence world onto the podcast as well, because like I said earlier, my whole thing was I'm not an owner, I'm not one of the owners. Most of the podcasters are owners. And at the end of the day, I want to, spotlight some of the installers, team members, employees, whatever your company calls them, and getting some of those opinions from people who are out in the field every single day, day in and day out. I think that really helps, because I'll tell you this one for sure, and my wife can vouch for me. My phone has stopped blowing up at 10 o'clock on a Saturday with Facebook messages on how do I do this? How do I do that? Because it's all explained on the podcast now.
Yeah.
And, that was also one of the reasons why I wanted to start a podcast. I mean, about a year ago, I could go through my Facebook messages and scroll 3 or 4 times. I couldn't tell you if he was Adam or John or Billy, or I had no idea who these people were who were messaging me. So I just kind of took that and ran with it, saying hey man, if I got all these people messaging me, at 10 o'clock at night on a Saturday, I should probably do something about that, because that would create something that's saved, that if they forget it, oh, hey, I can just go back to Billy's podcast, watch this little clip, and we can find it out. So that's what I use to keep people engaged. And then also I really try to at least twice a show, really dive into the comments, make people ask questions, and then I answer them. We'll answer them. Maybe if I have a guest on, I'll say, hey man, what's your input on this? Like last night I had Jason Boehm on. Awesome show. Cat 5 Gates.
Yeah.
We had a really great time. And most of the questions were for him at the end of the day, So if we can get people on there that the viewers want to know things about and have them answer them, I think it's a win-win for both of us at the end of the day.
Yeah. And I agree. It's not like a project that we're bidding on that only one of us is going to get on a, when you're talking about podcasts. I mean, somebody can watch 3 or 4 podcasts. It's not like a project where only one person's going to get the fence, right? So then we're really competing. You're not really competing, I don't think, in the podcast world, because, it's there's something for everybody in it. And I agree that you could have more, because how we build fence and in Indiana is different than Florida to Las Vegas to California. So having just one podcast wouldn't work for the whole country, because it's completely different everywhere. So
it's only one person's opinion then too.
Yeah. And we could have a bunch more, definitely, anybody to do it. But that being said, a lot of people are telling me all the time that, hey, I'm thinking about starting a podcast. You hear it all the time too. I was thinking about doing a podcast. I'm thinking about doing a podcast. Looking back though, at what it took for you to grow yours, what advice would you give somebody that's starting a podcast or thinking about starting a podcast? Would you just say run, or you say it was great, or you know what I mean? What advice would you give them?
I'd say do it. Do it. Just, for some people it's kind of nervous, or they're scared about it, or, I don't know how, or I don't like how I sound on camera. I don't like how I look on camera. Like at the end of the day, and this is something that I pulled from Joe Everest whenever I first met him. Like, people love when you stumble over your words, because it makes you look human, right? Like it makes it look like it's not recorded to be perfect, because at the end of the day, if you're standing in front of somebody talking, you're probably going to jumble a word here or there. Yep. Right. So if we can make it as human as possible, and just dive right in, man, do some research. If you need any help with equipment, give me a call. I will tell you exactly what kind of equipment you need to get started. It's not super expensive. I mean, we got started with a freaking $99 audio interface and no microphones.
Yeah.
You know, that's just how I got started. And then it just kind of grew. And man, everybody has an opinion. And I feel like all of those opinions need to be heard in the fence industry for us to grow.
Yeah. Yeah. Like Zach Romero at Blackline HHP, he says the podcast had become a way to keep networking between physical events. I kind of agree. Yeah. I couldn't agree. Do you guys remember your very first podcast, the very first episode you did? What was your, like, do you have a pregame or has it changed since that one? I mean, do you remember, was it like a gut wrenching thing? Were you nervous as hell? Did you record and then delete it and redo it? What was your, tell me about your first podcast you ever did, the experience.
Craig, go first on this one.
All right, I'll go first. With yes, I am in my car. When I started, I was like, hey, I'm just a regular guy. I'm at soccer practice. So
yeah.
I'm not in the minivan. I'm in my truck. So, but
sure you're not.
Yeah.
No,
yeah. My first one, I actually had Caleb Roth on. So it was kind of nice. Because Caleb, like him and I talked before, I was super nervous because, again, I was just going in. I'm just a regular guy. Obviously, I have a fencing company, but it's a little bit different when you're broadcasting out to a bunch of fence guys, right? So then it's like, you know, am I going to ask the right questions? How's it going to flow and everything? And honestly, when we got off, I thought it went horrible. Maybe Caleb was being nice, but he was like, yeah, it was pretty good, man. It was pretty good. So yeah. So then, I mean, obviously then from there it went on, so on and so forth. And now people like, you know, message and like, hey, can I be on the show? And I'm like, heck yeah.
Yeah, same.
That's awesome.
And not just that, but guys, go ahead and get this in your brain. You're going to have some train wrecks. All right. You're going to have some bad shows. It's just part of it. It's the same thing as putting in a fence. You're going to have a bad day. Right? Like shit happens. We're all human. And at the end of the day, Craig, you are right. We are just normal people. I told a lot of people this at the fence show. They're like, "Oh man, you're Billy Grove. I'm like so thrilled to meet you. I'm so pumped." I'm like, "Man, me too." But like, don't think that I'm some sort of like movie star, bro. Like I'm a beach bum who loves to fish and build fence, and that's who I am. So you know, I don't like people saying, you know, you're famous. It's like I'm known in the fence industry, but I can't walk into a restaurant down the street and they'll be like, "Oh, Mr. Grove.
Here Mr. Grove
special. Here is this." You know, that doesn't happen.
No, I heard you, man. I heard you at the show. I heard somebody walk up and they go, "Oh, you're Billy Grove." And I heard you, "Yeah, man, will you move it a little to the left? You're in my light." And it was like, you know? I was like, wow.
Now, let me say one thing. It was a super cool moment. Actually, it was at the training yesterday. We were doing an aluminum fence at some homeowner's house, and he came outside, and it was super cool because he was like, "Man, you're Craig Eubanks, the podcast guy." And I was like, shit, like I honestly thought one of the guys there like told the guy and was like, "Go up there and tell him." Well, the dude was from Colorado, and apparently he was trying to search up podcasts to fix his fence.
Oh wow.
And he just scrolled across and seen mine and then started listening to it and then recognized me because my face is obviously on it. And I was like, dude, that's freaking cool. Of course, cool. My guys were like, "Why don't you go autograph his shirt and stuff and like sign everything?" I was like, dude, come on, man. Like,
that's awesome.
It was kind of cool, but yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. And you do, it's weird. You just get more and more comfortable. And I agree. You just can't be nervous about stumbling over things. And I mean, Sean's probably been doing videos long before even us started doing, not probably was, right? But you know, Sean, do you remember the first kind when you first started doing videos?
Yeah, I was pretty damn nervous and worried about it, especially the live ones, right? Yeah. But today, teaching bias cutting, I did comment after I got done, so I was showing bias cutting, and I looked up, and I probably had 6 or 7 phones, right, videotaping right on me. So I'm doing it, turn around, they're all right there. And like 2 or 3 of them are live, right? And they're like, and I said, you know, bias cutting can make most fencers sweat in their palms, like they just get nervous sweats, right? I said, imagine teach it to a group of people. And then imagine it teaches it to a group of fencers.
Yeah.
And then imagine to look up and see that you're live on 4 different phones explaining to them how to do bias cutting, right? And so that to me, like today is like, okay, if you could do that, obviously I've gotten out of my comfort zone and I'm okay with being on camera, right? Running here 7 o'clock at night, jump on the camera. But in the beginning, I was really nervous about presentation. I was nervous about saying the right thing. I was nervous about spelling my, and not saying my words properly. I can't even say that. Like now that's no big deal. Like
send it, we'll bend it, right?
Send it, we'll go send it, bend it, we'll put it on a shirt. But I mean, go live almost every day now, just about, right? And I'm like, people are really tired of hearing from me, I would imagine. Right?
And you get over the fact that somebody's going to see you pushing the button and stopping it with your finger.
Flip the camera, right?
Editing. I love lives because editing's gone. It's like, it's too late, man. You already screwed it up. You don't.
Or I'm like talking to somebody else. I'm like live and I'm just having a conversation with somebody else. Oh yeah, I'm live. That's right.
You forgot you're live. I'll take a large fry. Oh shoot, I'm in the middle of my podcast.
So go ahead.
The very first one I went on was actually my fence life. The very first one I went on, man. Really? And I remember psyching myself up, and it was obviously Dan Blanc and Cannon, and man, I was nervous as all hell. I was just, and then you go into that green room, and then you got that countdown thing, and they're talking, and you're going to come on, and that makes it even worse. The anxiety of sometimes you just want to go straight into it, right? But if you know it's coming, then you're in the back coughing. I got to clear my throat. Where's my water?
Getting nervous.
You're like, getting ready because you're like, I don't want to be on there coughing and hacking, and then the next one was, but they did great, man. They kind of, Dan was always, he's super calm. He asks you the questions. He's like, what do you think of this? And it's like he's got a good pace to it, right? He's got a really good pace to it and stuff. So
look at Susan.
Yeah, made it really nice. And then Cannon comes on. Cannon's got that charisma to him as well, where it's just like everything just kind of flows. So it was just a great first podcast, I think, to go on. So I was grateful for that. And then I went on Joe Everest, man, and he was just an amazing guy to do a podcast with too, because he you've been on his right as a guest. Yeah. He just flows great, and it was just that was my first two was that, and now I don't even know, man. I don't even think about it. Like you said, I come in at the last minute, and I'm just like, all right, guys, we're going live. Let's do it.
Yeah,
but I did want to mention a few things because I know we're wrapping this thing up. We've got we talked about this, Sean. We were down there. We were meeting with Sean, and the other Sean, right? CMM open house, April 11th. Yep. That's going to be in South Bend, not too far from you, right, Sean?
It's pretty far north of me, actually, but a whole lot closer to me than you. How about that?
Well, I'm going to be coming to you first before I go here, so it's going to be closer.
Right.
Did you guys? Anybody else?
We have a good RV ride all the way up north.
Anybody else heard about this yet or going to this? They're going to do a pretty cool event. What's the training that's going to be going on it, Sean?
We're going to do a no-dig vinyl training, I believe, and I think a no-dig aluminum training, I believe. Yep. We got details on that next week that Heather's working out with them. Yeah,
so we'll get more information on it. Completely free for everybody, right? They can either reach out to one of us or scan this. If you got this video, pause it, scan that QR code. I don't know where that QR code goes, but it could be my it could be my OnlyFans page or something. But whatever. So just sign up. So, and then we've got Louisiana. I'm going to be down in Louisiana on the 20th and 21st. For the Louisiana fire marshals. It's gonna be a convention trade show thing. We're gonna be doing some training, I guess, too, going on. Susan's got this whole thing lined up. So super cool about that. If anybody's gonna be down towards Louisiana, we got that going on. And I think that's it. Unless Susan's got something else she wants to pull up that I don't know about. Oh, the fence cruise.
Yes. I was like, wait a minute. Come on.
The fence cruise. I'm just gonna try to pull this up. I don't know why it's going off, but there it is. Fence cruise, Monday, February 3rd. We're taking off from Miami. So if you haven't got your room booked, I know there's a whole bunch of us going. So it's going to go through the Bahamas for 4 days and then come back into Miami. Rooms are going quick. It's fairly inexpensive. That's the phone number you see. So again, pause this, call that phone number, talk to Megan. use that group code and that PIN number so you get under our group and get some discounts and stuff on that. We're going to be doing another podcast just for that to kind of tell everybody about that.
Sign up soon.
Sign up. Yeah, I know they said the boat's filling up, so I don't know if that's good or bad, but
might be too many fencers might sink it.
All right. And I told you I've already researched. If a fencer falls in, it's going to take like a full day to turn around and get you. So if that's we're not going to be pushing nobody over, doing nothing nuts. Yeah.
Bring your arms.
Right. Some flotation devices.
Yeah.
I think we're going to get some FWA floaties that go on your arm.
There
They
you
just
go.
have orange ones with the head or something for the people, just as we get a couple drinks in us. Anyway, thank you guys for coming on. Anything you guys want to add that's going on at your podcast? Again, we can go to anybody can search up the Gatekeeper or Fence Guy Friday, and it's going to pop up. Click on one of those. If you don't find it, reach out to one of us. You will anyway, but we'll definitely direct you in the right direction. Sean, thanks for coming on, man. I know we're going to have some awesome videos from Fence Week.
Fence Week's
I
been
don't know how many
rocking,
people
dude.
you had, 100 people or something. I mean, 9 locations.
Yep, it's been nuts.
You guys, all of you guys, and I know, we were part of it down here as well, but we've taken this Fence Week to a whole new level. Imagine next year when we can get, 20 locations going.
Shit, I've been talking about 100.
Yeah.
I got people blowing me up till they want to host. I'm like, let's do this. There's going to be so much fence getting built there that week. It's insane. So, and then Friday, if you couldn't make it physically to a Fence Week, we have Friday classes, which are like business related classes. Sam Tello speaking from .com, right? He's got some great content he's dropping. Of course, a lot of the academy instructors will be talking, or coaches will be talking that day as well. So if you're interested in participating on Friday, a Zoom call all day. It's from 8 a.m. to I think 4 p.m. Then reach out to myself or Nico at the academy. Go to Eventbrite, sign up there. Like everybody else did. What's that?
Nico's got the link for the answer of how do people watch that. So if you want to get on the part of the business course, guys, reach out to that. And I am going to spotlight something, guys. If you have never heard of Chris Gass, and if you've never heard one of his motivational speeches, even if you can't make it the full day, and I know Sean, Nico, and Sam all have golden nuggets to watch. Like if you can only make it for 45 minutes, make it for like Chris Gass's thing, because guys, he will empower you like nobody else has ever empowered you. I promise you that one.
Throw some gas on it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, well, there it is. So there's the email. I was going to say, hopefully we can drop that in the comments. She was one step ahead of me. But all right. Yep. All right, guys. Have a great night. I know it's getting late. You guys are probably tired. We will see you guys next week.
All right.
Have a good one.
See you guys.
All right.
Thank you, guys.
See you guys.